you understand that layoffs are business decisions, it can still feel personal. You can tell yourself it wasn't about me. You can hear other people say it happens to everyone, and still something about it doesn't sit right. For reference, I'm Ashley Nicole. I'm a licensed therapist and career coach, and I help clients who are navigating things like career transitions, burnout, and layoffs. So this is something I see up close, not just in theory. You keep thinking about this. The conversation, the timing, what was said or what wasn't said. And there's this quiet question underneath it all. Why me? If you had that thought, I want you to know that's a very human response, because layoffs don't just affect your job, they affect how you see yourself. And for most people, work isn't just a paycheck. It's where you prove your value, where you build confidence, where you feel useful and capable. So when that gets taken away, your brain doesn't process it as neutral. It processes it as rejection. And rejection, real or perceived, tends to go straight to your identity. Not just, I lost my job, but was I not good enough? Did I miss something? Could I have prevented this? Even when you logically know the answer is no, your mind still tries to make sense of it, because your brain is wired to look for cause and control. It wants a reason, something you can point to, so that doesn't happen again. But layoffs don't always give you a clean reason. Sometimes it's timing, budget, restructuring, decisions made far above your level. And that lack of clarity is what makes it harder to process. So your mind is going to fill in the gaps. And it usually fills them with self-doubt. This is where people start replaying everything. The conversations, feedback that you got from your manager, moments that felt small at the time, trying to piece together the puzzle to see if it makes sense. But not every experience has a clean narrative, and not every outcome reflects your value. I've worked with people who were laid off while outperforming expectations, people who were trusted, relied on, and respected, and it still happened to them. Not because they weren't enough, but because the system made a decision that didn't account for everything they brought. That's the part that's hard to sit with, because it means you weren't in control in the way that you thought you were. And when control disappears, the mind looks for something to hold on to. So what does it do? It's going to turn inward. If you're in that space right now, I want you to separate two things. First, the event and the meaning you're attaching to it. The event is you were laid off. The meaning is what you think that says about you. Those are not always the same. You can experience something painful without it being a reflection of your worth. But that takes time to actually feel, not just understand. This is why people often say, I know it wasn't personal, but it still feels like that. Because emotionally, it landed in a personal place. And that doesn't mean you're overreacting. It means something meaningful to you changed suddenly. Instead of trying to talk yourself out of how it feels, try getting curious about it. What part of this actually hurts? Was it the loss of stability, the lack of control, the feeling of not being chosen? Those answers will tell you more about what matters to you than the layoff itself. When clients work through this, something shifts. They stop trying to prove they're still valuable, and they start reconnecting with their value in a way that isn't tied to one role or one company. That's where confidence starts to rebuild, not from external validation, but from clarity. If you're navigating this right now, you don't have to rush to feel better about it. You can take your time understanding what this actually brought up for you. And if you want support sorting that out without spiraling into the self-doubt, that's exactly the kind of work I do with coaching clients. You don't have to carry this meaning alone. If this resonated with you, you can follow along or subscribe for more conversations like this around work, confidence, and making thoughtful career decisions. See you in the next one.